Good evening, folks. Can we get real just a little bit here? So, spiritual warfare is believing God's promises or believing the lies of the enemy. Something that I see a lot of is everything's a demon. People that talk about demons all the time, people that are always scheduling to go and have deliverance done, having to have deliverance done more than once. And I'm not saying that that doesn't need to happen. And I'm not saying that I don't believe in deliverance. The Lord's had me study it for the last 2 years or longer. What I'm saying is God knows everything and God allows everything. Look at the book of Job. Look at everything that happened to Job, and God allowed it. So what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that in America, and even the world, I'm not sure about the world, but I know in America, we want a quick fix for everything. We want to take a pill to lose weight because we don't want to have to change the way we eat. We don't want to have to exercise. We want instant gratification for a lot of things in this world. We don't want to put in the work that is required to get long-lasting change and effect. The Holy Spirit, there is our guide, is there to help transform us to become more like Jesus. And where does that come in with the topic that I'm talking about? Let me tell you a little story. So the Holy Spirit had told me that I was going to be doing this class, and I had the whole thing all typed up. I had 8 lessons all prepared. I went and met the pastor's wife and gave her my testimony, and I left the class that I had prepared with her so she could look it over. And then after a couple of weeks, I heard back from her and with like 6 pages of notes. And pretty much after reading those 6 pages of notes, it's like, she's not going to let me do this class the way I would like to do it or the way I thought it needed to be done. And so I just kind of set it all down and then just kind of just stopped. And for a couple of weeks, I still prayed every day. I still read the Bible every day. About the only thing I did change was I quit getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to spend time with the Holy Spirit. And in that 2-week period, the first day after I read those notes and kind of set it all aside and thought I'll deal with it later, the internet went out in my house, in my apartment. And it was out for 2 weeks or longer. Then I was on a prayer call at noon every day, and it was on Discord. And Discord messed up, and I was no longer able to be on the prayer calls. And I couldn't get a hold of anybody to get it fixed and get myself back on it. Just all kinds of things happened for that whole 2 weeks. Spiritual attack? Yes, definitely. But here's what a lot of people don't understand and what people don't look at is themselves. So I finally, on day 15, I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning to spend time with the Holy Spirit. And I sat there and I just let it all out. I apologized to God for kind of shutting him down for the 2 weeks, for not getting up to spend time with him. I repented for not believing that he was the one that trained me. He was the one that said that I was going to be doing this class. He is the one that was going to make it happen, and that I basically pouted for 2 weeks. I did not believe God. I wondered why I was not going to be able to do it the way I wanted to do it, and it wasn't. It's not going to be ever how I want it done. It's going to be how he wants it done. So after spending a couple hours with him that morning and repenting on everything, he gave me a download and he said, "Why don't you do the class like this?" And it was like, duh, I didn't even think of that. I can do this whole class without even mentioning the word demon. And so then I was like all gung-ho again, and I sat down to redo everything and rethink it and work it the way that the Holy Spirit had told me to do it. And let me tell you what happened. That was on a Wednesday. By the end of the day, my internet was back up. The Discord was fixed. I was back on the noon prayer call, And I got an email from the pastor's wife congratulating me on wanting to do a class and instructions on how to set it up on the internet and on the church website. All of that, 2 weeks of misery, 2 weeks of pouting and everything else. And it was all because of my own heart and my own issues. And that's what I mean by we want a quick fix. Let's just go get it delivered. Let's go just see a deliverance minister and get it delivered. But if you're being oppressed by a demon, why? What is going on in your life? What have you not dealt with? Is there an issue from when you were a child that you still have trauma going on? Is there unforgiveness in your heart? We are so we just want a quick fix that we don't want to do the work. And we don't want to give God the glory. And focusing constantly on demons and constantly on the enemy, you're giving him the glory. You aren't giving it to the Lord. You are focusing all of your time and energy on him, and that's exactly what the enemy wants. The enemy does not want you to work on yourself and to ask the Lord to help you with anything. He doesn't want you submitting to Jesus, which is what I did that Wednesday morning when I got up. I resubmitted myself all over again and said, Lord, I don't know what to do. Help me. And then that's when everything broke loose. And it will. If you turn to Jesus, that's what he's there for. That's what the Holy Spirit is there for. You will be set free. But it is about your beliefs. There are other issues, yes. This is not a blanket, doesn't cover necessarily everything. There's always exceptions to every rule. But for a majority, sometimes we just need to take care of our stuff. Lovingly, people are my beloveds, just like Jesus calls us. We need to learn to take care of our stuff. We need to sometimes do the work. If you're not willing to build your relationship with the Holy Spirit, and you're not willing to build your relationship with Jesus, if you're not willing to spend quiet time with him and learn to listen from him, and if you don't do all of that, you're going to have a hard time. If you do all that, I'm telling you, he's going to help you, and he's going to love you, and he's going to work on you, and he's going to transform you, and your life is going to be way more better because of it, regardless of what you go through. I love you. Hope to see you all again sometime. Come back. Bye.